I never felt like I fit in. I've never felt like I fit in my own skin. I never felt enough. I was always wearing masks to fit in where I was. There was just nothing left, and I wanted to die. I didn't know how to live with that. I had a picture of what it would be like to be a good mom and to be a good wife and just to be a person of integrity and be the kind of person that I was brought up to be. But I just couldn't quite get there. I couldn't get along with others. I couldn't be a part of society and work and carry my weight because there was always something lingering, a fear, anxiety. My father was abusive. He's what is called a dry alcoholic or addict. He didn't get help. I had this sense of rejection as far back as I can remember. And so I took everything and from everybody as rejection and abandonment if you just weren't full on giving me attention. And I had to numb that. And all of that just fueled the fire for my addictions. Drugs and alcohol became my friend. I had 2 children. I got pregnant with my oldest. We were not married. I was just running from myself and running from having him because I knew I couldn't take care of him. I was married when I had my youngest. I could not take care of him. That came with partying and hanging out and doing whatever I wanted, and kids were in the way, honestly. I would have walked over hot coals for my children, but I would have died for another hit or a drink. So I got to a place where I needed help. When I came to Restoration Village, I found love and acceptance. I found accountability. I found a place where I fit and where my son could have some normal life that I could not give him. I met a man when I was here at Restoration Village the first time. We got married 2 or 3 months after me meeting him. Months later, things were just not going good at all. We had started drinking and doing drugs together, and I knew that it wasn't going to end well. So I called Miss Beverly and asked her if I could come back. And she told me, of course, I could come back. That sense of abandonment and rejection was probably stronger than it ever had been. I could not cope. I left again and I spiraled down. My son went to live with a family of a friend of his from school. I didn't know how to live. There was the guilt and shame, what I had done to my kids. And there was guilt and shame for not being able to stay here when I'd been given many chances. I've been incarcerated several times, but I went to prison twice. Society had given me chances and people around me had given me chances, and I did not understand what was happening. My son that was here with me, he started doing really, really bad things that were against the law, and he was in Washington County Jail. He committed suicide when he was 19 years old. He lived on a ventilator for 12 days, and I got a chance to be with him and to pray with him. David and Beverly came to the hospital. You know, there were so many people that visited and were there with me in some of the hardest days of my life. I will miss my son, and I'm not in that horror of the first days of grief and shame and guilt for what I had done to my son and what I had put him through. I was in Washington County and I wrote a letter to Miss Beverly, and I had told her that I needed a place to stay, and they were very welcoming to me, but was honest that, you know, Nicholas being the age he was, my son, that there just wasn't gonna be, you know, a place, but that I could come and eat and fellowship with him on Sundays. We've been in contact over the past 5 years that I've been sober. My life is beautiful today, and now I have a house cleaning business I started. My whole life is centered around recovery, and I help other women, and I speak life into them. And there's something about someone who has walked through what you are going through, and God works through that. I wrote a prayer when I came here last time. Oh God, I am overwhelmed at the reality that you've been here all of my life. You were never ashamed to be seen with me. You were never far away, even when I broke your heart. I've never felt such love in my life. It's the one thing that I've been searching for in other things. You have pursued me all of my life, and I am drowning in your love. I am wrecked by your grace and love. I have a life beyond anything I could imagine. And it is due to God, and it is due to the program of AA that I work daily, allowing God's will to take control of my life. He continues to heal me. I owe everything I have to the people like Miss Beverly and Mr. David in my life that gave me chances and spoke life into me when I didn't love myself. And I owe everything to the people that loved me. I couldn't have never written this story myself. God amazes me every day.